So you're fighting coming up against Mickey Gall coming up on the 27th. So that's less than a week, man. That's like just a few, almost a week from now. Do you have any beef against Gall, or is it just work for you? I know you said it was an easy opponent, but is there any beef really? Is he coming back with anything, or are you just gonna go out there and just fight, and it's kind of like just a normal fight for you?
Well, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna stand there.
Yeah, I think
And
we know that.
I'm gonna make him fight me. And he's gonna run, or if he comes in with punches, he's gonna get clipped. My boxing is way better. I'm sure he's gonna try to take me down at some time. Cause he come out and shot on CM Punk so fast. But then when he fought Diego, he couldn't shoot at Diego at all. And Diego with the body clinch was just ragdolling him. And I'm so mean at that body clinch. So I don't see him having success anywhere. I'm just going to stand there and wait for him to run into my hands. And he's going to go to sleep. And you had another part to that question. What was it?
No, I was wondering if you had any beef with him too, or if it was just business. Like there hasn't been any.
Man, the beef. See, that totally slipped my mind.
I'm just saying, I haven't heard any like trash talking between you guys. So this is kind of a fight where I just feel like you're kind of just going in there. You don't have a lot of beef, but you're just going to take care of business for yourself, get the big win, get the big knockout.
Well, I talk a little trash, right? And because a year ago, on like Thanksgiving, or like a little over a year ago, maybe it was, I know he called me out a couple times in the past. And I know there was like a time on Thanksgiving he made a video on Instagram and he was just like, oh yeah, for Thanksgiving, Mike Perry fucking sucks and blah, blah, blah. And he was like hating on me so hard. And I was like, who is this kid, bro? And now that the shit is about to happen, you go watch his interviews. He's like, I'm a low-key Mike Perry fan. And, well, motherfucker, I'm not playing with you. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to stand there mad as fuck, too. That's the thing, is that you take that anger and you just go run forward and you try to get them too fast, then you run into shit. But if you go out there and you just let that anger sit as kinetic energy and then you can let it rip when they come in too close, bro, this kid don't stand a chance.
So how is it with training, man? Because I heard that you made a couple comments here about not training with many people or not having coaches in your corner. You're gonna have your girlfriend in your corner, Latori, is her name?
Yeah.
Your girlfriend. So are you training with anybody? And if you aren't, is it because of the quarantine, or are you just kind of like doing your own thing for this fight in general?
You know what, man? There's a couple guys out here and a couple gyms that like one, I go get some heavy bag work and I make sure my stuff's flowing good and do some abs and stretching. I've done some jujitsu in some classes or whatever with some guys, but I pay for these gyms, you know what I mean? Or I got a couple dudes that I met in Albuquerque a while back, these two twin brothers, and they have a gym that they can go to 24/7, and it's like a wrestling gym or whatever. And I go and I'll just drill with them, and they want to learn from me too. They're such humble dudes, and they love the sport of fighting, and so they just listen. And I'm coaching the setups, you know what I mean, of how I see the fight gonna go. I got a couple of bodies, and they're kind of similar to Mickey Gall before I ever even knew the Mickey Gall fight was coming. And then, so I'll just set some things up. We'll do some combinations. He'll do them back. I'll work the offenses and the defenses. And then I'll say, okay, at some point the shot's going to come in, and then we'll work. It's like live drilling,
Yeah.
I'm sure you know. And it's all there's no ego from anybody but me. My ego is the only ego that matters when I go in there. And so now I'm not waiting for coaches to I'm saying what it's going to be and how it's going to be, and I'm working the moves as we go through them. And these guys are just along for it. They're with it, and they're not trying to say, oh, you should try this. Oh, you should try this. Oh, you should, no, shh. You know what I mean? So they're not doing that. And, I've worked with a couple of guys, but it's a good balance between I drill a couple of things the way I want to see it. I work on my own on the heavy bag, or I go get some road work. I'm eating, I'm drinking water. No one's going to tell me don't have some peanut butter toast or something like. And I'm with the person that I'm happy to be with. My mind's going to be in a real good place. I've been resting a lot, so I'll train a little, I'll rest a little, and then I'll mix it up. I haven't necessarily been in a pool. A pool would have been nice to get some swimming laps, but I've gotten some jiu-jitsu, some wrestling, some full MMA, some kickboxing, some boxing. I've gotten that road work is important. I get out there and go. There's a track like a block away from my crib right now, and I'm gonna put it as like, you ain't gonna take my life from me,
right?
But I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna stand there with that attitude.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. So you really aren't gonna have coaches in your corner, though.
No, I don't feel like I've ever heard anything useful with guys in the corner anyways. The only thing I can think that might have been useful is a distraction from when, like, my debut, a corner that I had that I never had again, he just kept screaming the same shit. And when I watched the fight, and I told him, I was like, bro, it's so annoying listening to you say, all the way in, all the way out, and you screaming it, get in, stay in, and I'm like, no, I'm bouncing in and out good. And then, I hear him say, like, this, so I get on top crucifix and I go elbow, elbow, and then you hear the corner go elbow, elbow. Like, yeah, you just telling me what I just did. You know what I mean? I could do it 2 more times, but I got that already.
Yeah.
So I've never had anything useful be said to me in the corner. And to be honest, y'all just be quiet. Watch the show. You get a front row seat. And I'm going to listen to his corner. And then in the Apex, people are hearing Daniel Cormier, the commentators. I'm interested to see how that's going to be just a day at training. I'm going to start talking some shit in there. I'm going to try to relax and have a conversation with a couple of people.
You may hear some good cornering from those guys. You may hear some good advice from Cormier
and Daniel Cormier or whoever's there.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
I don't need nothing, bro. I just need my girl and put the gloves on. I don't even need gloves. We could do bare knuckle, and it ain't gonna be boxing. If I do some valet tudo, death fighting, I'm putting my fingers in people's eyes.
Yeah, that's funny, man. That's crazy. So you're a fascinating guy, man. I'm a fan of your fighting and your personality and your charisma. And this is just one more element that's going to be interesting to see. You go out there, and I've never seen somebody go out there and just fight like that. So, and I think with your style, it's gonna be fine. You go out there and you fight the same. I mean, you have that mentality. You go out there and you fight, and it's kind of the same. I mean, I'm not saying that you don't change, but I'm just saying that your mentality and how you fight is just you. So I mean, it is like I see it working. I see it working for you.
It's been me since I was a young kid. I feel like I've always had this physique. I've always had the athleticism and these physical abilities. I feel like I've taught the coaches that I've had much more than they ever taught me, because I'm hard-headed anyways. I don't listen to nobody until I see it for myself, and then I teach myself. So like you said about me changing a little, yes, I've grown up and I've learned the sport more. I took a different road than other fighters have taken in the past, and that doesn't mean that I can't be the best still. I feel like this is a fresh start for me. I'm 6-6 in the UFC, and 4 of the 6 that I lost were great fights. And I got caught by a couple really good fighters who were very high level, and I was going to do the same thing to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was who caught who first. And those usually happen early. I've had 2 first-round losses that okay, I got caught by some better fighters, and now I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna stop rushing it. I'm gonna just stand there, and I don't think anybody's gonna take anything from me. And if I'm just standing my ground.
Yeah. Give me, right before you go, man, give me a prediction on the fight with you and Mickey Gall. Like, what do you say is going to happen? The round and how?
I'm gonna hit his ass. I'm gonna hit his ass, and he ain't gonna be able to take it. He gonna stop. I could flatten him out like Diego did. I could beat him in that body lock if he tries to clinch. If he tries to shoot, if he gets on top, I'll get the sweep. I'll take his back. I'll probably stuff it all together. If he throws hands with me, if he opens up, I'm gonna hit him for sure. And first round knockout, second round knockout. I don't see it going past the second if he can make it to the second.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, man. Just like all your fights. So I'll be definitely watching, looking forward to it.